Hello, everyone. This is Bernie Clark, Head of Advisor Services at Charles Schwab, and welcome to our next edition of Schwab at Home. 2020 has been a very interesting year for all of us, with lots of changes, difficulties, challenges, certainly some opportunities that have come along. And I would argue that we have found a new normal in how we behave and the things that we do. But in truth, it hasn't been that story for everyone. Not everyone has been as successful. And there are some folks who need some help in special kinds of ways during difficult times like this. And when things get tough, what has to happen is those who are enjoying some success need to step up into that challenge and make sure that they're helping. And we in financial services are uniquely qualified to step into that void in so many cases. And so that's why I'm so pleased today for today's edition to have my friend and colleague, John Dauphiné, join us from the Foundation for Financial Planning. He's the president and the CEO of the foundation. I happen to be a board member as well, and John and I have known each other for many years. So welcome, John.
Thanks so much, Bernie. Great to be here with you today.
I'm certain you would agree, John. 2020 has been a bit of a different challenge this year. And I know that there's more need in the marketplace. So why don't you talk a little bit about the amazing work at the foundation to help people through this difficult time?
Yeah, thanks, Bernie. So the Foundation for Financial Planning is all about linking up the financial advisory community to at-risk folks who really need but can't access financial advice and planning. And it's all on a pro bono basis and incredibly important in today's times. If you look at the statistics, they were dire before COVID hit our shores. In fact, I think a lot of folks talk about the point that about 40% of Americans couldn't even afford a $400 emergency expense, and this was before the pandemic. And right now, almost 60% of US households are reporting financial hardship caused by COVID-19. And of that group, about 3/4 are saying they're struggling to pay their bills. So the need for advice, the need for assistance is just so great right now. And we at the foundation are doing our best to really make sure services are getting to vulnerable groups and that families can benefit from pro bono planning and advice delivered by wonderful volunteers across the country.
Well, John, you have a small yet very powerful team helping you in all of this, but tell me a little bit about how the industry is helping you as well.
Well, the industry's been incredible, and I have to salute Schwab and other leaders for really stepping up during this time period. We actually have a corporate advisory council that's composed of our top corporate supporters, and I'm really pleased to say 11 corporate leaders have signed a joint statement that's really path-breaking. And in this statement, there's a recommendation to the Certified Financial Planner Board of Standards to really come out with a recommendation that all certificants should be doing pro bono, benchmarked around 25 hours a year. And these corporate leaders have also committed to examine their own policies and practices to make sure they're doing what they can internally to advance pro bono, to take down barriers to pro bono service. And this is really the first time this has happened. And we are so indebted to these leaders for stepping up, especially during this time when we know the need is so great.
We believe pro bono help is so critically important. Could you help us think about a couple of more calls to action that can come from this joint statement?
You know, the thing that I want to emphasize is we in financial advice can learn a lot from what's gone before us in other professions that have a robust pro bono tradition. And one of those is the law. And in the law, the American Bar Association recommended that attorneys do 50 hours of pro bono a year. It wasn't mandatory, just a recommendation, but it was an important cue to the whole profession that this is valued. And at the same time in the law, when big law firms got involved in promoting pro bono from an institutional perspective, pro bono exploded in the law, and the rate of giving back through pro bono really, really accelerated. And we're seeing the same thing in financial planning and advice. With these corporate leaders like yourself, Bernie, stepping up in this way, we are We are asking CFP board to make a recommendation that planners do a minimum of 25 hours of pro bono a year. It's just it would be strictly voluntary, but it's an important cue to the profession. And these companies are also saying, we're going to assess our own policies and practices, our communications, our partnerships, to see if we can do more. And I think when you get that type of institutional actor coming forward, it's a real game changer. And so we are thrilled that the industry has stepped forward in this way, and we think it's really going to lead to an expansion of pro bono service.
I could not agree more with what you're saying. And, in my 2 decades working with advisors, I have watched them continuously rally around the need of their individual clients, of the communities in which they live, and step up in difficult as well as opportunistic environments. And I suspect that's going to be the case now. But how can advisors get involved in all of this?
One thing I urge everybody to do is go to our website, ffpprobono.org, and read the impact stories, because they will inspire you to want to be involved. I've had financial advisors say to me, pro bono feeds my soul. This is why I got into the business in the first place. The amount of impact just 1 hour of time can have on a struggling family is truly extraordinary. So I would urge financial advisors to look at our website, to register to volunteer. And you can do that at probonoplannermatch.org. It's really easy. It's easy to register. You can browse opportunities that are posted by our grantees and our other nonprofit partners. And there's a lot of both in-community and virtual opportunities. And I really encourage folks to consider donating to our COVID-19 Financial Resilience Fund. You can do so right on our website, ffpprobono.org. And of course, Charles Schwab Foundation is matching every gift dollar for dollar up to $500,000, which is wonderful, and which will double the contributions that folks make. So I really encourage people to think about giving.
Well, thank you, John, so much. Thank you for the amazing work that your team is doing. Thank you for inviting the Charles Schwab Corporation into this venture. We're proud to be a part of it and proud of all the pro bono work that goes on. And I want to thank you for joining me here today to send this incredibly important message out to everybody.
Yes, Bernie, thank you, and big thanks to Schwab and all your colleagues for the support. Schwab has been such a pillar, really, of support for this work, and we're indebted. Thank you.
And thank you to all the viewers, of course, who have joined us for this edition of Schwab at Home.